Welcome back. It is. Oh, hang on, sorry. It is still Friday, but I'm putting this in next week's video. I'm out rolling. I'm in the front field, the one which I've been doing all the cultivation in. And why am I rolling, you may ask, when there's nothing in here? Well, we're putting grass seed in here, and we are going to try and use. Hang on, let me put it back on the clip. The air drill that we've got down at the farm. So it's an Accord. No, it's not it is an Accord. An Accord air drill. I can't remember its code because the code I've got in my head is for the first spinner, which is also an Accord. So we're going to use that to put seed in here, at which point it needs a really fine tilth. So as you know from when you pick up a lump of soil and you squeeze it between your fingers, it crumbles. That is basically what we're doing, but with a roller. So I'm going along nice and steady because this doesn't actually take any power to pull. It's great. I'm in 12th gear. I've got 1,000 revs on, if that, and I'm doing 5 miles an hour. Nice and steady. Don't want to be going too fast. If I go too fast, it kicks up dust. Also, this roller does leak, so it doesn't actually hold any water. So it's not as heavy as it should be, which is okay for now because the ground's pretty dry and crispy. Obviously, if we're trying to roll ruts out or something like that, would need it heavier. So yeah, I'm going to be doing the same on my field where the sunflowers are going to be going, because I'm going to be using the same drill for trying to put the sunflowers in. Emphasis on the word trying. I've never used this drill, so this is going to be a very steep learning curve. I'm going to try and run it on this tractor, but I don't know if the top link's going to work on this, so we'll have to see. It's a little bit heavy for the back of the class. It is what I collected it with years since, but the class has got a hydraulic top link, so that's far easier. This doesn't. So we'll have a go with that. So hopefully in this video you might see that. I don't know. You're gonna have to see how I get on. Because this week, not next week, this week coming, I've got a little bit of a busy weekend and stuff. So at which point I'm gonna go crack on. I just wanted to talk to you guys because you're so nice. So I shall see you later. Saturday morning and down at the field, and look at that sunrise here, absolutely fantastic. Got Tristan driving the tractor, so I'm going to hop back in a minute because it's chilly out here. I just wanted to get the tractor going past that sunrise. As you've just seen, it is absolutely stunning down here. As I say, a little chilly, so again we're just doing the rolling like I was doing in the front field, getting that sorted. There is a couple of weeds still growing around here, but you know, I'm not really too worried about most of them. You know, the grass isn't a bit better, but this area isn't going to have pumpkins in. This is going to have sunflowers in. Now, the grass is not a worry because that's not going to compete with things. What I don't want is the thistles and the chicory and stuff like that. Look at that. Oh, it's a beautiful tractor. Just had to actually go wash the windows because the silly fool who left the back window open, not me, when they were hauling dust, and made such a mess of the tractor we couldn't actually see out this morning with the sun being so low. So we just had to lose a little bit of time and just go wash the windows and get it done. But you can see here, right, I'll actually show you. So looking along, you can see that this is where it's being rolled. I look at, obviously there's still a couple of big clumps, but you see how fine that soil is? That'll take a seed really nicely, compared to over here where it's mostly big clumps. So that is the process of this and what it does. So I'm going to go take back over on the tractor because I like driving, and we'll get this done and sorted and yeah, on with it. See you later. So here we go. I said I'd show you the willow, so you can see it's all nicely sprouting. Every single one of them, which is really good. I have just made a bit of a mess down here because we've got a digger here, and I've just had to go through there with the digger, but that's going to all get repaired. It has pushed a couple of the willow over here,
but I'm not too worried about it. It's willow, it's fairly bomb-proof. That's all going to get neated up, and there will be a bridge going in here anyway. But yeah, so there's the willow, there's its shooting. It all started to show about 3 weeks since, 4 weeks since. So it's obviously put that much on in that time. So by the end of the year, we should have, those bits should be a foot or so tall. You know, they should be up here, which would be really nice. So I'm going to crack on. It's Thursday and it's roasty toasty hot. We've got 33.2 in here. It was up at 39. Can't get back on. Yesterday, I think it was. But we have planted pumpkins. Look, all those trays, not these ones here, these are still to be filled, have all got pumpkin seeds in them. So that's a lot there. We've had a, thankfully to my children, we've had a great production line going, getting seeds in, watering them, then bringing them back in here. The vegetable seedlings we've got have been cast out. They're now out on the veggie beds. They're going to get hopefully planted up soon. They really need to, because we need the trays back to do more pumpkins. I'm not too worried if some of them are going in a bit late, because we do want to kind of try and extend this growing season a bit. We are going to be planting out into the field the seeds as well, so that is going to be going on. Obviously you saw the willow, I remember to do that, but I think I'm going to be ending the video, well actually no, I might actually be doing something tomorrow, which if I can get it working, it'll be interesting for you to see. So I'm not going to end the video here. I will do something tomorrow. I'm not actually working today or tomorrow officially, so it is just like Brucey bonus extras. So see you in a bit. Good afternoon. It is Friday and I'm seriously beginning to question whether black work t-shirts were the best of ideas. It's a little bit warm. New shorts as well, trying them out. They're not very clean because I've had them on for about 30 seconds, so but they're not full of holes. I always feel like really clumpy, the new shorts. They're not flexible, so they need to be washed a couple of times. But look what I'm doing. Seed drill's on, and something's burning, not me. Let me just get up onto the back. Here we go. So inside of a seed drill, and that is sunflowers. So here you go, just like what you'd feed to your, well it's not, because most of the times you're feeding these to the birdies now, they're shelled. So you don't see that, they're just sunflower hearts. So that is, I think 35 kilos of sunflowers, which is gonna go in up there. So this is the first time I've actually used this drill. I've just done a quick demo of it, turned it on. This is an air drill, so there's a big fan underneath, which is PTO powered off the tractor. Feeds air up through these. In the bottom of there is what's called the metering system, which, hang on, if I come around here, I can show you. So, metering system is driven off the land wheel. You see those gears there? On the other side, there's a winding handle which moves in and out, like it makes a pocket bigger or smaller. This wheel turns that, which also turns the other side. There's a gear for high and low. I think I've got it on the right one. We'll find out. That turns, drops the seeds in. Seeds go down that pipe to where the airflow from the fan is, up to them distribution kind of covers you saw, out through the pipes and down to the seed heads. It drops out of the seed head, and this little follower closes it. Yes, I've got the drone, so I'm going to try and get the drone up, then that bit just levels it afterwards. So the reason that I'm using the drill rather than just broadcasting it in as I've done in the past is, you know, get into the cab, that the birds always eat it. So the drill should put them in a bit better. And why is that creeping down? No, wrong one. The marker legs, which I'm not going to use because one's fairly bent and keep dropping down. I'm gonna have to turn the aircon up in here. Right, let's get up to a point we can go and put it down on the floor and see what it does. Obviously we won't see for a little while, so it could miss loads, who knows. But I'm going to get this top area seeded. So, see you in a minute.
So, what you just seen drone footage, absolutely perfect, looking nice. Only glitch was the PTO had come off, so the fan wasn't spinning, so at which point it wasn't actually seeding. So I'm now going back over where I did just go. Pretty mucky now from having to just force the PTO shaft on, which is not fun. Hopefully that's not going to affect my seeds too much, because obviously I don't have that an awful lot. So I'll check on the seeds once we get to the end and just see how many's gone through. Well, that's it. It's all running, heading away on this now. So that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for likes, subscribes and follows. Sorry it's been a quiet one this week, but this is exciting. Sunflowers going in. Won't be long before the pumpkins, because we've got them in the ground, well, in the cells at home. So can't wait. See you next week. Take care.